breaking advancements for the RB21 in a bid to maintain Max Verstappen's dominance in the 2025 season. Max Verstappen has laughed off criticism of his aggressive style of racing from Zak Brown, quipping that the McLaren boss failed in his own racing career. Meanwhile, George Russell has opened up about the void left by Lewis Hamilton's departure from Mercedes. Let's discuss, and stay tuned until the end. After a bittersweet 2024 season that saw Max Verstappen claim his fourth consecutive Drivers' Championship, while Red Bull lost the Constructors' crown to McLaren, the Milton Keynes-based outfit is leaving no stone unturned in their pursuit of supremacy for 2025. The team has announced sweeping changes to the RB21, a car they hope will catapult them back to dominance and help Verstappen secure his fifth title. Red Bull started the 2024 season with unmatched pace, winning 7 of the first 10 races. However, as the season progressed, their rivals closed the gap. McLaren, Ferrari, and Mercedes each mounted significant challenges, with McLaren ultimately clinching the Constructors' Championship, their first since 1998. Meanwhile, Verstappen's early lead in the drivers' standings and consistent performances ensured he retained his crown despite winning only 2 of the final 14 races. The tightly contested championship showcased the growing competitiveness of Formula One, with stable regulations pushing teams to extract every ounce of performance from their cars. Heading into 2025, experts predict an even closer battle, making Red Bull's developments crucial to their campaign. Red Bull's motorsport advisor, Helmut Marko, acknowledged the challenges faced in 2024 and outlined the team's focus for the RB21. Speaking to media, Marko emphasized the need for a car that offers greater setup flexibility and better tire management. The regulations will be in their final year next season, so there will be hardly any changes. However, the cars of this era have their pitfalls, especially the working window of the tires causes problems for many teams. Sometimes you completely lose the tires after small temperature changes. If you look at the last 6 months, Ferrari and McLaren were clearly the strongest teams, so we have to find a car that has a wide working window and doesn't react so erratically to the smallest changes. If we can do that halfway, we'll automatically be back in contention for the World Championship thanks to the Max Factor. Despite his phenomenal achievements, Verstappen remains grounded about the team's prospects for 2025. The Dutchman admitted Red Bull would not enter the season as favorites but expressed confidence in the team's ability to address the RB20's shortcomings. I know that if we fix our problems, we will pick up a lot of lap time, but it's about fixing those problems. He highlighted the car's balance issues as a major hurdle. I think our balance shift that we have makes it very difficult to find a good compromise with basically the tools that you have in the car. So we need to work on that for next year. If we can fix that, I'm confident that we have a quick race car. Meanwhile, Max Verstappen, fresh off his 4th consecutive Formula One World Championship in 2024, has hit back at McLaren CEO Zak Brown's criticism of his aggressive racing tactics. The Dutchman dismissed Brown's remarks with a cheeky quip about the McLaren boss's own lackluster racing career, further fueling an already intense rivalry between the two teams. The 2024 season saw Verstappen dominate early on, clinching the title by 63 points over McLaren's Lando Norris. However, the campaign was not without controversy. In Mexico, Verstappen and Norris clashed in dramatic fashion, leading to 2 10-second penalties for Verstappen. Zak Brown was quick to condemn Verstappen's on-track behavior, stating, "He's such an awesome racing driver that I just don't think he needs to drive like that. Just drive like the world champion you are. It was unnecessary, puts everybody at risk, and it's not clean racing." This criticism came on the heels of Brown's earlier comments in Austria, where he questioned Red Bull's win-at-all-costs philosophy following another heated battle between Verstappen and Norris. Brown asserted, "Nasty is not how McLaren goes racing." In a documentary by media, Verstappen dismissed Brown's critique with characteristic bluntness, laughing off the comments and taking a dig at Brown's history in motorsport. "I always find that really funny, coming from someone that failed himself in racing." The Red Bull star's reaction highlights the confidence, some would say arrogance, that has defined his approach to racing. Verstappen's unapologetic style has not only brought him success, but also courted controversy, with rivals and pundits alike debating whether his aggressive tactics cross the line of fair competition. Despite falling short in the Drivers' Championship, Brown believes Norris has grown as a driver and is better equipped to handle Verstappen on track. Reflecting on the Mexico clash, Brown remarked, "I think Lando has learned how to fight against Max. Max has been very open about how he drives. If you try to overtake him on the outside, he won't let you. But Lando gave him a great fight in Mexico and also made sure there was no clash between the two of them. We were fighting for the constructors' title, and we couldn't afford to be too aggressive. I think he knows exactly how to deal with Max on the track now. I am convinced that he will perform differently next year." In a rare glimpse into his mentality, Verstappen candidly admitted that he is willing to cross the line in pursuit of victory. "I will always get the maximum out of it. Sometimes you have to cross a line, and I'll do that," he said. He further elaborated, "You have to calculate all that, and not everyone understands that. Not everyone has that mentality." The Red Bull driver defended his controversial moves in Mexico, arguing that they effectively cost Norris the race and earned him a strategic advantage in the championship. "That race? Not at all. No, I think I actually won points there." Meanwhile, George Russell admits missing Hamilton's presence at Mercedes. George Russell has opened up about his feelings following Lewis Hamilton's departure from Mercedes to join Ferrari. Russell, who initially joined Mercedes as a junior driver before partnering with Hamilton in 2022, is now preparing for a new chapter alongside Kimi Antonelli, a young talent from Mercedes' junior program, as his teammate for the 2025 season. While Hamilton's move to Ferrari was announced 11 months ago, New Year's Day officially marked the beginning of his journey with the Scuderia, as his contract with Mercedes has now expired. Reflecting on his time with Hamilton, Russell described the 3-year partnership as an unforgettable experience, calling his early days at Mercedes surreal. "I'll always remember my first F1 race for Mercedes in Abu Dhabi 2016, the Nico Rosberg and Lewis race, and just being in the same room with them during the debrief. I was starstruck, just witnessing it all unfold. So to think that we've now been teammates for 3 years is incredible, and I know within myself that I can perform at a minimum of his level." Russell also shared that his initial inspiration in motorsport came from his older brother, Benji Russell, a karting champion whom he described as the faster Russell. "My hero, honestly, was my brother Benji," Russell revealed. "He's 10 years older than me, and he was the one I looked up to when I started karting. He was winning races, British championships, and even world championships. Seeing him achieve all that made me want to follow in his footsteps." Now, Russell faces the significant challenge of leading Mercedes without Hamilton by his side. However, he believes the experience of competing against one of Formula One's greatest drivers has made him a stronger competitor. "I feel confident knowing I've gone up against Lewis and held my own. It's been an invaluable experience." Meanwhile, Hamilton embarks on a fresh chapter with Ferrari, aiming to return championship glory to Maranello. As Russell steps into a leadership role at Mercedes, he hopes his partnership with Antonelli will continue the team's legacy of success. Hamilton's absence has undoubtedly left a void, but Russell is determined to guide Mercedes back to the top of the championship standings.